Last week we set a competition for players to win up to 50 Vindicta shards. Today we'll see the results from that competition, but maybe not in the way you expect it. Hello everyone. Last week we opened a competition to win up to 50 Vindicta shards, and this week we're going to look at the results. This is no random prize draw, however. This is going to be settled the old-fashioned way, with a surprise automated Tacticus tournament. So I asked everybody in our last video to pick a character and then join Vindicta on a mission to save Castellan. Well, on the way there's a little trouble and teams were drawn and battles ensued. Here are the teams that were drawn, and we are now going to watch live pick recorder recordings of what has transpired, and I'll try and commentate a little bit on what we see. The rules are simple. 5 versus 5 on a random map. The characters are automated and are set to silver 1 with actives and passives at level 26 and weapons and armor at rare 5. Everyone that lives at the end of a battle goes through to the next round and will keep fighting until we're done. The outright winner will receive 50 Vindicta shards, and the 2 runners-up will receive 25 Vindicta shards each. If you win, then listen to the end of the video on how to collect your winnings. But first, let's look at the data behind everyone's choices. We had 120 entries, and these were split into 31 Chaos characters, 41 Imperial, and 48 Xenos. When it comes to characters, 41 unique characters were picked, and the top 5 were Archimatos, Ulf, Revas, Marneus Calgar, and Celestine. So no surprise that some of the most powerful characters in the game are also the most loved. But what about the ones who weren't picked? Well, 24 weren't picked at all, and some big names in here as well, like Varro, Aryak, Burchard, Makotep, and Nauseous Rotbone. So no love for these characters, and I wonder what the developers think of this. But anyway, without further delay, let's jump into the first match. All of the matches are going to be quick, and so we will have to be pretty sharp to follow the action. In the first match, on the green team, we have B4NE1 as leader with Maugan Ra, and their team is Kumquat666 on Death Leper, Malakiaka Ambrose on Abraxas, Flocky686 on Athana, and Ronald Knight 4980 on Isabella. Leading the red team is Leiron PK on Shosil, and on their team, Kaitin 4160 on Toth, Ulysses Mute 1398 on Neurothrope, user He8B7HD1I on Thaddeus Noble, and AO1778 on Ulf. So we begin the match with the green team, starting as always, and with 2 deep striking champions on their team, they instantly go on the offensive. Neurothrope and Shosil make short work of the Death Leper. Ulf goes in with a great frost axe and crushes Athana. Maugan Ra goes in, but the Maugatar doesn't quite finish anyone off, while Abraxas spawns a pink horror. Neurothrope and Shosil partner up to weaken the enemies, but it's Thaddeus who wipes Maugan Ra, and Toth's Hellfire missile rack takes his Thousand Suns clanmate down. Isabel runs back, and the deadly pairing of Neurothrope and Shosil finish the match in style. All of red teams go through to the next round, while the green team are out of the competition. Let's hope the next matches are a little bit less one-sided, or we might be seeing a very quick tournament indeed. In the second match, it's Sebrigadu 2342 on Archimatos, James Hogg 601 on Anifet, Chaos Swarm on Snotflogga, Lewis Horseman 2219 on Immospec, and Johnson CJ on Ulf. They're going up against Gasmask 3862 on Maugan Ra, Pern Guin 2532 on Marneus Calgar, Yubo Merl Shuk 4902 on Toth, Bard Ziolnui on Brother Yeager, and Ondrasmat 4162 on Bellator. So let's see if it goes better for the green team as they move up the field and into the fire. Calgar's ripe gauntlets of Ultramar take Archimus down. Bellator tickles Anifet and in return takes a poke before Immospec moves up and gets a double kill. Snotflogga and Ulf do some damage, but they won't score any more kills. Maugan Ra gets sweet revenge on Immospec before Bellator brings in reinforcement. Toth ends the turn with a good hit on Ulf and sets the wolf on fire. Ulf uses what little strength he has left and wipes Bellator off the map. Iceman goes chasing after Ulf and the pair of them fight to the death, with both of them going down at the same time. Snotflogga makes a sharp detour and smashes Maugan Ra to the floor with a nifty right wrench. Oh, and there's more spawns joining us. Anifet raises his Necron warriors in protection. And can Toth do anything to even this match up? Will his healing and revive be enough to score another kill? Well, the answer is no, as James Hogg 601's Anifet and Chaos Swarm Snotflogga proceed through to the next round. In match 3, it's Barosaurus Rex Productions on Typhus, JF Skander on Abraxas, the Healymeister 9287 on Bellator, George Sash 1423 on Maugan Ra, Elsmurf 01 on Revas, and they're up against Banix 1592 on Angrax, Matt Tucker 8520 on Archimatos, Lorenz Rao 9865 on Wing Prime, Kerbolkerman 6827 on Shadowsun, and J Campbell 1947 on Revas. In a game with 2 Revasses, this could be a fast massacre, but let's see. Predictably, green Revas goes into early warning override but loses a drone to Archimatos, followed up by red Revas going into early warning override. Wing Prime spawns a Tyranid Warrior and Abraxas spawns a pink warrior in return, taking it straight back out. The battle rages on for a few more moments until Bellator spawns in his Bella babies on top of Angrax, forcing him to retreat straight into Morgan Ra, who he dispatches with his usual anger. Shadow Sun does a disappearing trick and then Wing Prime spawns all over green Revas, taking him down. Bellator's Bella babies get instant revenge on Commander Shadow Sun before Typhus follows up by wiping out red Revas. With the battlefield starting to clear, Abraxas falls to the Bloodletter. Wing Prime launches itself across the battlefield towards Typhus, who is then finally killed by the spill damage from Angrax, who wasn't even looking at him. Angrax's rage continues as he swipes at anything that moves, but from here, the battle is already pretty much over. Bellator falls, and that means Banex 1592's Angrax and Lorenz Rau's 9865 Wing Prime are the sole survivors. In match 4, the Elder Pete is on Marnius Calgar, Leon 1624 is on Ulf, Lucius Bolter is jammed on Revas, Vangalor on Abraxas, and Sergei Hidalgo 9814 on Eldrion. They are facing Babidi G, Abraxas, Batu Tu Loco on Revas, A Belly of an Army on Eldrion, Narrow Mullen on Shosil, and Fafnir Dragonbane's 3625 on Aleph Null. And so into the match in another Revas versus Revas matchup. Green Revas goes into an early warning override, Eldrion moves in for a quick hit on Abraxas, and before Aleph Null makes a rookie mistake of stepping into an Overwatch and dying. On the other side, Ulf moves up and is ripped by Revas. That is followed up by Green Revas stumbling in and then Calgar trying to be the hero but also going down. Abraxas looks for revenge and his pink horror kills Eldrion, then takes down Revas as well. Shosil's drone finishes off the green Abraxas, but can they finish the rest without another loss? Abraxas, hanging on, spawns a ton of defenses. Can you believe it? The Eldrion smite avoids bouncing to Abraxas. And wow, Babidi G as Abraxas leads his team to a wonderful victory with Narrow Mullen and Shosil surviving too. In match 5, it's Karasame on Gibba Scraps, Payment 2404 on Calgar, Brandon Roach 7016 on Eldrion, Kaiju Shorts on Harkin, Ako Staseb on Ulf, and they're going up against Kyler Stern 42 on Anshi, Ainoal Mos Perez 7967 on Yeager, Praetoris IX on Calgar, Glindware 88 on Typhus, on Army of Markness 42 on Calandis. Match 5 begins with Gibbascrap, who drops his Grot tank and takes a chunk out of Brother Yeager. Typhus drops his Plague Wind at Calgar, takes advantage of the damage to take down Harkin. Brother Yeager taunts the Grot tank. The tank takes even more punishment, still lives unbelievably until Eldrion takes down Brother Yeager, and in pure spite, he takes the tank down with him. Typhus drops his Gibbascraps and Ulf, while Onsheed wipes out the lonely Eldrion. Calgar turns to face Typhus, and his Gauntlets of Ultramar finish the other Calgar, but it's too little, too late, as Kyler Stern's 42's Onshi and Glindier's 88's Typhus really carried this fight and carried themselves through to the next round. In match 6, we have Dakota Gardner on 3606 on Calgar, Alexis J. Morgan on Onshi, Digital Gungner 6480 on Revas, Timu Kusisto 3824 on Calandis, and Mark Rom on Archimatos. And they're coming up against Zapioch on Archimatos, Achit 1004 on Vindicta, Seraph Sleeping 1804 on Calgar, Tak V on Bellator, and CX000 on Winged Prime. And this will be an interesting match with only one Revas on the field. Let's see if the red team stumble into it. Well, Vindicta is taken down by Calandis, and then Bellator's wiped out. Wing Prime follows to his doom, and then Onshi has refreshed Revas. Archimatos dropped his blood letters on Calgar, and Onshi pushes forward. Calandis finishes Calgar, and this is turning out to be a slaughtering. Archimatos pretty much just gives up, and the green team go through without losing a character. In match 7, we see Mahazello on Neurothrope, Thugglebus on Revas, Sasorix 2725 on Yarrick, Tap Rayfish 4960 on Winged Prime, Minion Cult 9358 on Archimatos, and then they're going up against Brian Red 7146 on Neurothrope, Valentine Bowie 8646 on Revas, Yusuf Weps on Angrax, Daniel Sopatardo 6991 on Celestine, and Kobe Young 4762 on Shosil. 2 Neurothropes and 2 Revas. This is going to be ugly, and whoa, Winged Prime is not messing around and Shosil's taken straight out of the game. Revas is planted and this could be a very quick battle. battle. Angrax does a very smart sidestep and completely wipes Wing Prime out. Celestine jumps forward, absorbing the early warning override from Revas, giving Archimatos a punch in the process. Archimatos stumbles forward and is disintegrated. Yarrick drops his Cadian Guardsman and this battlefield is filling up as much as it is emptying. Then some small back and forth as Acadian Guardsmen do their job and absorb some punishment. Feels like no one wants to win this. Everyone turns their attention to the drones and they take some punishment. Neurothrope triggers Yarrick's Relentless and he stays alive on 1 health, but not for long as Revas sets fire to him, finishing him off, while Angrax is just cleaning up. Green team spread their shots around and they don't really do too much in truth. And so it's up to Angrax and Revas to take down Neurothrope. Then the other one drops 2 as Cadian Guardsmen show their worth. In a Revas and Revas via Angrax fight, I think it's clear which way this will go, but they both go after the spawns instead of finishing the match off. Green Revas doesn't need an invitation and takes down the red Revas, leaving a simple 1v1. My money's on Angrax, but let's see, and there it is. What a battle. Maybe the best we've seen, and use of Weps Angrax goes through. In match 8, we see Zeppelin and Toth, Kyle Simmons, Shosil, Mark Kumakonen, TW4LZ on Celestine, Ragefist 666 on Death Leaper, James Hebert 5182 on Abraxas, Arctic Fox 6418 on Archimatos, Mo Kenny on Abraxas, Etienne Pov H 6052 on Winged Prime, El Handsome Dan on Angrax. Into the match, the green team wait the enemy and they don't have to wait long. Archimatos is straight on top of the Death Leaper, while Eldrion and Winged Prime double team Shosil and take him out the battle. Angrax has a swipe at Celestine as she goes after Archimatos. The Death Leaper gets a huge heal and Abraxas finishes Archimatos, while Toth tickles the Winged Prime. Eldrion turns on Celestine. The Winged Prime takes Toth's first life and is really showing its strength in this tournament. Oh, and Angrax and Abraxas combine to finish off the Death Leaper. Angrax being another powerhouse in this tournament. Look at that hit as Abraxas explodes to the Tyranid Warrior. I don't imagine Toth is too long for this battle either. As we watch, it's a painful end and 4 people through to the next round. In match 9, it's Sanguinius 2605 on Isabella, Bediest on Anafet, Bloodjob 7724 on Celestine, Cendrix on Death Leaper, and Dansleaf 685 on Ulf. Up against them is Dohun Park 5146 on Calgar, Panaction on Carodius, Specimen 5604 on TR, and Ben Borkart 5944 on Ulf. And then finally Doc Sav on Imispec. And it's another match with Isabella. Let's see if it goes better than the first time. That Death Leaper's surely leapt to his death. But where's Ulf going? Oh no, he's tried to do a great Frost Axe, but Green Ulf has turned Savage Killer and wiped him out. Isabella gets revenge and Imospec dies and Ulf nearly kills Carodius. Oh wait, he does kill Carodius. Calgar's on the move and there goes Isabella. Also, Ulf goes down too, and it's quick retribution as Calgar falls to a Necron Warrior and Tiark falls too. What an ending to this match. Bediest and Bloodjob 7724 are through to the next round. In match 10, it's user ZY2DP1LT7C on Morgan Ra, Ben 01381 on Angrax, Jean-Jacques Corsol 961 on Celestine, Jeffrey Shoop RU6CZ on Eldrion, Stefan Egidouche CX5QS on Vindicta. And they're up against Jonas Hayton 9985 on Aleph Null, Battleburger on Vindicta, Chris Jan 6377 on Celestine, Hub ND on Thaddeus Noble, and Godless 89 on Tyrant Guard. This is a bigger map and Angrax takes the opportunity to close the distance while his team is a fair bit behind. That mistake is quickly punished by Aleph Null's Scarabs. Vindicta turns her Fire of Absolution on the enemy and it's Morgan Ra who takes the heat. He goes down. Gemini Superior killing Vindicta, for Celestine jumps across the map and takes down Thaddeus Noble. This is a bloodbath and we're not done yet. The Celestine is swarmed by Scarabs and then Eldrion falls as well. Wow, that was some finish, but somehow there are 3 left through to the next round. In match 11, it's Whelp and Fail on Typhus, Miggy the Piggy 141 on Celestine, Daniel Hockey 261 on Boss Golgorts, Ryu Kyle 5913 on Aleph Null, and Red Eyes Black Dragon 4889 on Archimatos. They're going up against Membel Ukes 8463 on Shosil, and Analogous Alias on Archimatos, Ihor Beshiko 6402 on Harkin, Mr. Niku on Aleph Null, and Matthew Fisher 8589 on Angrax. And so we're into the penultimate match of the first round. Archimatos, Angrax and Aleph Null all work together to take down Celestine, and it's crazy it takes those 3 powerhouses working together to take her down. Typhus lays down some pain, and then Archimatos drops Harkin by surrounding him with bloodletters. Green Aleph Null pushes more Scarabs onto the map, and Shosil is the unwilling recipient. Archimatos drops even more bloodletters around Typhus, who simply can't deal with it, before the green Archimatos kills the red Archimatos. This is quickly followed by Angrax finishing off Boss Golgorts. This leaves a 2-on-2 with tons of spawns, but it quickly quickly turns into a 1v2 with Angrax picking up yet another kill. But look at this, the 1 is the winner and the spawns are too much for everyone. Red Eyes Black Dragon 4889's Archimatos is left standing from another great battle. And so here we are at the last battle in the first round of the tournament. Let's hope it's a good one. We have Rage Quit Cannon on Archimatos, MM Monster 4204 on Vindicta, Peter Zareba 60 on Sarquel, Fabian Ur 6134 on Marvin Val, Michael McGrattan 865 on Abaddon, and they're going up against Samuel Fuca on Vindicta, Mr. Alpha 4 Unit on Volk, Vidalpha 1988 on Rosita, Matt Freyre 521 on Marvin Val, and Adam Kalmanson 4743 on Ulf. The green team close the gap and prepare themselves. Ulf is the first to respond and his Great Frost Axe puts down Archimatos. Vindicta turns her fire and Val goes down. Volk and Rosita combine on Vindicta. Abaddon goes down too. Whoa, but Sarquel does at least pick up a consolation kill on Rosita before succumbing to the giant Volk. That was quick. 4 characters are going through to the next round. And so we have the following teams fighting in round 2. Congratulations to everybody got through. Commiserations to the losers. There is 10 Chaos, 8 Imperial, and 14 Xenos left. Angrax has survived the most, and then a bunch of characters on 2.
Jace, are you there?
Yes, Vindicta, what is it?
We've found him. We found Castellan. He's hurt but alive.
Thank the Emperor. Get back here.
We have to fight our way out, but we are on our way.
And so we move into round 2, match 1. The snow has fallen on the map and we're ready for action. The teams are as follows. Laren PK on Shosil, Kaitin 4160 on Toth, Ulysses Mute 13898 on Neurothrope, user HE8BE7HD1I on Thaddeus Noble, and AO1778 on Ulf. They're up against James Hogg 601 on Anufet, Chaos Swarm on Snotflogga, Banix 1592 on Angrax, and Lorenz Rao 9865 on Wink Prime, and Babidi G on Abraxas. At the start of this match, instantly Thaddeus Noble takes a large chunk out of Anufet and Snotflogga. Wink Prime moves forward and lays into Toth, and Neurothrope makes the first move, finishing off Anufet. Thaddeus kills a Wing Prime spawn before Shosil pokes Angrax. Ulf moves in and shows again his power as he smashes the Wing Prime into the ice. Snotflogga, little green monsters blow Neurothrope away. Angrax goes for Ulf, but he counters and takes Angrax completely off the field. Thaddeus is the one who takes Abraxas down, and it's not looking good for Snotflogga. It's not over yet though. The Grot and Pink Horror combine to take out Thaddeus Noble. Then it's a real showdown between Ulf and Snotflogga that ends up with both of them falling. I guess you can't ignore this orc. And with that, Laren PK on Shosil and Kaitin 4160 on Toth go through to the next round. In round 2, match 2, Narrow Mullen on Shosil, Kyler Stern 42 on Onshi, Glindir 88 on Typhus, Dakota Gardner 3606 on Marnius Calgar, Digital Gugnir 6480 on Revas, Alexis J. Morgan on Onshi, Timo Kususto 3824 on Calandis, Mark Rom on Archimatos, Yusuf Weps on Angrax, and Mo Kenny on Abraxas. Well, I think the luck of the draw is not with this match. This really feels like a mismatch. Revas, Onshi, Shosil, Typhus and Calgar on one side, that's an awesome team. Let's see if the red team can do anything at all. Predictably, Revas takes an aggressive stand and awaits the opposite team. Archie stays clear, but Calandis stumbles in and is killed. The rest of the team do avoid it though. Typhus moves in and, enjoying the 3 enemies stood together, sets a punishing plague wind on them before Green Onshi moves in to clean up. Calgar and Revas then join forces to take down the tough Angrax. Archimatos and Abraxas drop their spawns but struggle to pick up a kill on anything other than a drone. Predictably, Archimatos and his Bloodletters are easily taken down and it leaves a 1-on-5. Onshi refreshes Revas's early warning override, but look at this, Abraxas and his Pink Horror breaks the Revas. Can we see a miracle here? Well, no. Calgar will not have it. 4 team members go through. In the third match of the second round, we see the teams line up as follows. Etienne Pov H6052 on Wing Prime, El Handsome Dan on Angrax, Collie Ran 1018 on Eldrion, Bediest on Enefet, Bloodjob 7724 on Celestine, Jonas Hayton 9985 on Aleph Null, Chris Jan 6377 on Celestine, Red Eyes Black Dragon 4889 on Archmatos, Samuel Fuqua on Vindicta, and Mr. Alpha 4 Unit on Folk. We get the match off to a quick start as the Wing Prime brings down Vindicta. Archimatos counters with 2 Bloodletters and Aleph Null moves on Celestine. Volk sprays frenzied firing around. Celestine follows up to bring down the Wing Prime. It's really not looking great for the green team, but a very smart smite from Eldrion gets a double kill on Archimatos and a full health Volk. What a hit that was. And Celestine dives over to take revenge on Eldrion. Aleph Null plays it safe with a heal, but I don't imagine that'll do him much use. The green team ignore him for now though as they turn their full attention to Celestine, who observes so much damage. Celestine goes high but fails to take down Anafet. Anafet turns back on Celestine, dropping her out the sky, and then the Necron Warriors take down Aleph Null. Unbelievable battle, and this could easily be the battle of the tournament so far. So much excitement, but it's El Handsome Dan on Angrax and Bediest on Anafet who go through. The final match of the second round would have been a 1v1, but I've decided to give both players a bye to the final. This is because they will take the final numbers up to 10 and make it a nice even 10v10. So Matt Ferrari 5-1 on Morven Val and Adam Kalmanson 4743 on Ulf both go through. And so here we are at the final. As we begin, we can look at both teams. Congratulations to everybody who made it this far. The lineup is as follows: Laron PK on Shosil, Kyton 4160 on Toth, Kyler Stern 42 on Onshi, Glindweir 88 on Typhus, Dakota Gardner 3606 on Marnius Calgar, and they're up against Naru Mullin on Shosil, El Handsome Dan on Angrax, Bediest on Anafet, Matt Frary 5-1 on Morven Val, and Adam Kalmanson 4743 on Ulf. So that's 3 Chaos, 3 Imperial, and 4 Xenos into the final, and the only character that appears twice is Shosil, and so I've made him captains for the last battle. The rules are simple. It's last men standing will take the prizes. If more than 3 are left, we'll start looking into tiebreakers like most kills or most assists, and that also goes for the overall winner. So good luck, let's do this. Green Shosil goes straight for the Seeker Missile frequency lock on Ulf. Angrax takes half a Calgar health, and she takes a full Frost Axe to the face. First blood goes to Anafet as he finishes off on She. Calgar follows Shosil's Missile Arise into Ulf, where Shosil's drone finishes Anafet and ties the match 3-3. In the next round, it looks like the red team is in complete shock as their weapons misfire and barely touch the opposition. 4 Shosil's drones finish on Morven Val, then Toth goes up and faces Angrax. That'll be a battle, but Angrax barely touches Toth. Typhus and Shosil don't do too much before Toth's Hellfire missile rack clears the battlefield to enemy drones. Angrax still can't touch Toth though, and the drones are really not doing that much against Typhus. Have they bitten off more than they can chew here? Shosil's drone takes out the enemy drone once again, and Typhus finishes off Angrax. And that's it. It's over. Green Shosil finishes the match with another kill, and 3 players remain. Laron PK on Shosil, Kyton 4160 on Toth, and Glindweir 88 on Typhus. I think it's easy to say that Laron PK was a true leader of this match and also built such a great partnership with Kyton 4160 in this whole tournament. They were together in teams from the very beginning and worked tirelessly as a pairing right to the end. All 3 will receive Vindicta shards, but it's Laron PK who was easily man of the match with 4 incredible kills and will take those 50 shards home. The others receive 25 each. To receive your shards, please reach out to me on the Tacticus Discord. If you're not on Discord, then just message me below and we'll sort something out. Well done to everyone that entered. I hope you all enjoyed this tournament. As it's the first of its kind, I would really appreciate feedback on it. This was a lot of work and I really want to know whether it's worthwhile doing this again or whether it's just too much to watch. You're the customers, you decide. Until next week, goodbye.